So Kaitlyn, I'm super excited to have you joining me today, and just wanted to go through and talk to you a bit about our experience working together and the things you have done during that time, and share that with everyone, because I think for people who are getting started in their business, there's a lot of unknowns, and so hearing from someone who's done it can be super, super helpful. So to go ahead and get started, I'd love if you just tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your business and what it is you do.
Definitely. Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, Kristin. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm Kaitlyn. I live in Denver. I'm a holistic health coach. And I started my business because I struggled with autoimmunity and have, navigated living with an autoimmune disease for many years. Had kind of cystic acne as well, and just a lot of body image issues. So I feel like as a result, I tended to put my life on hold because I was very kind of in this headspace of like, when I fix myself, then I can kind of show up to my life and have the life that I want to have and live. But I didn't really also recognize that like time was just gonna keep marching on, even though I thought I wanted to put everything on pause while I fixed myself. So in quotations. So, I now am wanting to help other people that are kind of stuck in that same cycle of just having a negative impact or a negative relationship to themselves based off of what they might be experiencing in their bodies, and maybe they're fixating on something they think they need to fix or change, but in reality I think all of that isn't even necessarily true. It's just that I think we have to change our relationship to how we see and experience ourselves so that we can live the type of life that we want. So that's what I help people with, is just kind of health in mind, body, spirit, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. And I can very much relate to that too, because I struggled with a lot of the same things, like, the body image stuff, and had struggled with acne and stuff too. And same thing. I was like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go out in the world. Like, I was like, wait until I fix this. And then I'll do these things. And like you said, time keeps going by, and you could watch your whole life go by and still be waiting.
Right. Which is like, it's kind of tragic in a way, because you're like,
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I lost a lot of time, because because I was hiding, or I didn't feel good about myself. And I want to sort of help others to sort of hopefully not waste years of their life feeling ashamed or feeling not enough. So yes, I know you can relate, but have also overcome so much, and then have created this incredible life and business, and you're helping so many people, including me. So it's really inspiring.
Yeah, it's huge. It's an important thing to help people with. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about like where you were at before we started working together, and kind of what was going on for you, and maybe where you felt like you were getting stuck with things.
Absolutely. So prior to working together, I think I joined the program in like September or October of 2020. And prior to that, I had been laid off pre-COVID. So I was like, well, this is a great time to start my job or my business, because I had been certified as a health coach and felt like it was the push that I needed. So thankfully I had unemployment and severance, so it was a good time for me to start. But unfortunately, just with COVID happening and then some things in my personal life that were difficult, I was just not in a great space at the beginning of 2020, and really wanting to get my business going, but feeling a total lack of like direction and clarity and know-how. Like I just didn't understand like, what are the steps that I need to take? And I didn't feel like I had support or any of that, or community. I was just like pretty depressed, to be honest. So, so that was sort of the thing. I was trying to get myself out on social media, but also kind of talking about like hiding. I was even doing that with social media, where it was like, I was afraid to really put myself out there because being seen felt really scary to me and really overwhelming, and I wasn't sure what I was trying to communicate and all of that. So that's sort of where I was. And then like through a bunch of, I feel like serendipitous moments, like, I was like led to you, and we had this great phone, consult, and I was like, yes, I want to, I want to like jump in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think so many people can relate to that as far as just not knowing where to get started, feeling totally overwhelmed, and putting yourself out on social media very scary.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It feels like so overwhelming. I think you're sometimes afraid to see if you've been somebody where it's hard, like you feel like you've been hiding or you've been feeling
Yeah.
ashamed about things, or, had skin issues or body image issues. I think it can be really triggering sometimes to see yourself. But through the process, especially this year, I'm like, well, I actually really like myself. Like, that's sort of silly that I, spend so much time feeling like embarrassed or like I wanted to hide. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about like what you've accomplished since we started working together, and a little bit about where you're at now and how things have changed for you.
Yeah. So it's honestly been like one of the best decisions I've ever made to join your
Aw.
program. So thank you so much, because truly, like, I feel like before I was saying, I'm starting a health coaching business,
Yeah.
and now like I am a health coach. Like, I have a health coaching business, not just I'm starting one, like I have one, and
Yeah.
I've kind of, yeah, I've gotten like a good handful of clients at this point, and that's just been incredible to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting paid for the thing that I want to do and I've wanted to do, and like I can be the person that I've always sort of wanted to
Yeah.
be, and show up and embody that, and have that kind of image of myself of, oh, I'm a confident woman pursuing her dreams and ambitions and wanting to help others, as opposed to sort of always feeling like I was sitting on the sidelines, like waiting for the right time,
Yeah.
and waiting to kind of show up. So I feel like the program has allowed me to really just not only change my mindset so much, but also to really put action behind my thoughts and desires and dreams, and that's been huge. And also I've like met incredible people through the program, so that's been so wonderful, like
Nice.
provided such community in a year where like I've really needed that, and that's been huge, so it's been really wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited about that. And I
Yeah,
love that
thank
you're actually local and in the
yeah,
Denver area, because I'm something I want to do for sure is get us all together that are there.
yeah.
And I know it's been weird with COVID, but it will be happening. I'm determined.
Exactly.
It's
I will.
amazing to like all meet online and have that, but meeting in person will be really, really
Yes, it'll be so nice.
yeah,
Because we've all seen each other on Zoom, but it's like, oh, in
yeah,
person we haven't.
yeah.
So,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
this year has been like weird for that, but
I
that's
know,
coming. We're gonna
I
make it
know.
happen.
Yay! I can't wait.
Yeah. So, and I know you said like anything else you want to share just kind of with about like your experience with the programs. I know you said, just meeting with other people and stuff too. Anything that kind of like stuck out to you as far as going
Yeah,
through?
going through, I would just say like your content is amazing. I've been so grateful because I think, like I said before, I didn't know what steps to take. And
Yeah,
you create this program where each week, you have a different module, and we have a Zoom call every week all together. So
yeah,
that just where, people can bring their questions, their triumphs, their insecurities, whatever. It's such a supportive, encouraging community. But the modules themselves are so wonderful because it's like, okay, let's address, first of all, our mindset and our belief system and our relationship to money, to ourselves, to what we want to do, all of that. And then also you provide just such practical, like step by step, this is what you need to do in order to set up your business. And that's been huge for me, because I think it's so easy to look online and find articles or things that are telling you these are what, the steps that you need to take. But when you've made an investment in a program and you are like in a community and you are committed to actually making something work and you have the guidelines and the format and like kind of the structure to know how to do that, that's been so huge for me, like incredibly important and helpful and informative. So yeah,
Good.
that's
Good.
been wonderful too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's overwhelming to start a business for sure. Because there's like a
Oh,
million things to be doing. And a lot of times you feel like you're just spinning and like, what on. So yeah, trying to break it down step by step. And yeah, glad you found that helpful for sure. And so tell us a bit, I wanted to ask you about this and I forgot before, but
yeah.
just as far as like the clients you've been working with, like I know you've been getting amazing results with them and just a little bit as far as what's shifted for you there.
Yes. So I think before I felt kind of like an imposter in a way, like, oh, I'm certified as a health coach and I have my own experience of like, I mean, really managing autoimmunity through like a really holistic approach. And I've healed my skin and I've done all that naturally. So I feel like, okay, obviously, my own experience speaks for itself in many ways, but when it came to helping other people, I think because my own experience also has been over the course of years, healing, I think that can be such just an ongoing lifelong journey, really, because it's like, you know, there there are things in us that of course like are wounds that we're always going to kind of have to look at and work
Mhm.
to heal. But yeah, like I think my fear was that I wasn't going to be able to help people because I knew for myself what a winding road I had been on. But I think beginning to actually work with clients and see kind of some of their limiting beliefs, um, their fears, their patterns, I've realized like, oh my gosh, like everything that I've gone through has totally equipped me and I think in a way has been so purposeful for me so that I could help other people with these issues that they're experiencing and to give them a realistic understanding of like there is no quick fix. Like things take time and dedication and persistence and perseverance and care, but if you can like create a really compassionate relationship to yourself through that process and also have a clear vision of like this is who I want to be in the world, this is how I want to feel, this is what I want to embody, like I think that gives you a really good roadmap and just kind of the belief, when things get hard. So working with clients, I've found I think a bit of my voice, even though at times it's like, oh gosh, maybe I might feel overwhelmed or not totally sure, like how do I
Yeah.
help this person, especially if they might be struggling with something like long-standing chronic illness or something like that. But I would say overall, like I know now that like I do have just a lot of help and insight and support and encouragement to give, and it's been really cool to see people start to be like, whoa, like I am making these changes and seeing my patterns and all of that when I wasn't able to before. So that's been really rewarding, I would say. Yeah.
Definitely. I love that. Yeah. And
Thank
you're
you.
doing amazing things. So yeah.
So,
And I know you talked a bit like about like, kind of the confidence piece and some of the stuff with starting your business, but have you seen anything else that's really just kind of shifted for you in your life or like in your experience as you've kind of gone through and been working on building your business?
yeah, like I feel like I'm just becoming the person that I want to be. And that's been amazing because I know I kind of said this already, but I spent literally most of my life, I think, in this space of just kind of low self-worth. And that was playing itself out in me
Yeah.
being in jobs that I really didn't like, that kind of I was overqualified for, or relationships that weren't very healthy, or kind of obsessing and fixating on, like I said, my weight, my skin, my body, my health, like to my detriment. And I
Yeah.
feel like now it's like, oh, I feel more present in my life and to my life and excited about what I'm creating and hopeful about the future and like just confident and competent and like I said, I'm even in that space of like, I really like myself, you know, like it's a shame that I spent so many years being like so hard on myself. So if anything, like I feel like really helped me to set a really strong foundation where it's like, oh, this is a launching pad for, you know, for kind of a really bright future, just like for myself. And I know that I'm going to continue to help people and help them to establish that for themselves as well. But like, that's been huge and like so powerful because I really felt like I was sort of spinning, like kind of circling the same drain for a long time and
Yeah.
didn't know how to kind of how to get out of that. And this has been just instrumental in me really moving forward. So thank you so much. Like from the
Yeah,
bottom
you're so
of
welcome.
my heart.
I can relate to so much of that because I feel
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping people start their business. But I think for me, I felt like the same way, like that journey for me was such like a transformation as far as how I felt about myself and how I put myself out in the world and seeing your value and focusing more on others and how you can help people instead of getting so caught up in your own stuff and judging
Right.
yourself. And uh,
Right.
so I think that's super, super powerful. All of
No.
that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that
Uh,
you can relate because I look at you and I'm like, gosh, like you have truly like you've just gone for it. You've put yourself out there in the world in this beautiful way and you are helping so many people and you're but you're just so kind and you're so down to earth and you're so like supportive and you're such a cheerleader for all of us that are in this position, you know? So
oh,
yeah, so just thank you because it really you're having a huge impact.
well, thank you. You're very, very welcome. It's an honor to work with you. I'm like going to cry over here. So, um, so one last thing for you. So what would you say? Because I know a lot of people are very hesitant to like invest in mentoring and to get support in their business. And if someone's out there and they're, maybe thinking about working with me but they're like, oh, I'm not sure, is that a good investment? Like, what would be some words of wisdom that you would maybe give to
Yes.
that person?
Yes, I would say that like it's scary. I know some because I used to do this too, where I was like, I don't have money, you know, or like whatever. But I was in the unique position this year where I thankfully had saved a good amount of money, so I did have the money. But I would say even, you know, if it's something where you're like, okay, I have to really budget to do this, like the investment that you get in return is just like tenfold, you know, and the way that it can really impact and influence your life and change your life and like set you on a trajectory and a path where you can also become the person that you desire to be. Like that is such a that is such like an available that, that's so available to you, you know, if you're willing to step out in faith and invest in yourself and invest in your growth and invest in like your dreams and your future and your desire to help others. Because I think when we give, like it always is coming back to us, you know, also. And so just to know that like you're supported, if money is a concern, just, you know, I think just believing that like what I need will be provided for me. And if this is my path and what I'm meant to do, then absolutely like it's so worth it, you know?
Mhm.
And it's just it's wonderful to like feel excited about your life and what you're doing. And so like I would encourage anybody that's really questioning whether to work with Kristin, like definitely do it because it's huge, like hugely impacted my life. And I'm just like I said, so grateful. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Like I said, it's been an honor to work with you too. And
Oh,
we need more coaches, more of you guys like out there doing this powerful work, and only makes the world a better place for sure. So, yeah,
can I
well,
add?
thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I add to that because I think too. I thought like, oh, the market is so saturated, but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? Like you're saying it. I think what I've seen in the community that we have, in our program and all of that, it's like, wow, no, they're incredible people, each, with their own unique story. And there's 7 billion people on the planet. And, we're all uniquely equipped, I think, to help certain people, based on our own life experience. So I'd say too, if like that's something that anybody's feeling like, oh, but the market is saturated and there's no room for me, it's like, no, like there's absolutely room for you. And what you've gone through in your life is powerful and can really, really help others who might be, experiencing something similar. So that's something I would say too.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that is a huge thing that people worry about. Like, there's already so many people out there doing it. Like, who am I to do it? Why would someone want to work with me? And there are people that want to work with you, right? Like, and there's more than enough people. So
yeah, it's so true.
And that's for sharing your unique story and your experience. Like, really, the right people are looking for you. So
Exactly. And you never know who that might be. You never know what kind of impact you might have. So it's, and just what an impact people are going to have on you, because I think people sharing their most vulnerable, like, thoughts, feelings, life experiences, like all of that with you, it's such an honor, and it's such like such a gift. It's humbling in its own way. So I think, to just know that as much as we want to make an impact, we'll be impacted as well, and like changed as well, and that's really cool.
Yeah. You continue to transform by helping other people transform too,
Right.
Which is huge, right?
It's so true.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah. So
Awesome. Well, anything else any last words of anything that you want to add?
Just that everyone definitely join Kristin's program. It's amazing. She's amazing. And and just know that you're here on purpose, for a purpose, and
Definitely.
and like you have something amazing to contribute and offer. And Kristin can also really help you tap into that and kind of find, find your path and have the community, the structure, the support to really help you achieve what it is you want to achieve. So yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I want to thank you so much for sharing this. Like I said, I think it's super helpful because there's so many unknowns when you're starting a business, and it can be a scary process. And so I think hearing from someone who's gone through and done it and their experiences is super helpful. So like I said, it's been an honor working with you, and I'm so proud of all you've done, and I want to thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Seriously.